What's up? This is Casey with another episode of the show we don't have a name for. Today's shirt of the day is the University of Gondor. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you know what I'm wearing, what we're talking about. So I work at a university, and we have an English-only office, and we were closing it. And at the little English office, we had a little library, and they were going to just toss the books. So I took all the books to a little English cafe a little bit down, and I made friends with the owner, and he let me just put all the books over there because I really don't like to see books just get thrown away. But I kept some of the books for myself, so over the last few months, few weeks, and everything, I've just been zipping through a few old books. I read stacks and stacks of them, but one of them was 50 Great Short Stories. This is kind of like some of the English homework I did for my NYU degree, which honestly, there were some books in there that I did read for my degree and for homework. And some of them were fun, and some of them were absolutely stupid. Some of them I understood. Some of them I could not get a hold of at all. I think the book was published in 1952, so some of the books were written 300 years ago. The last one, nothing was written 70 years ago. The coolest thing was, these are the Chronicles of Narnia. So I got a almost complete set. This is my Kindle because Silverchair was missing. So I had to get that downloaded onto my Kindle. But I got to read the entire Chronicles of Narnia again. The reason this is such an important series for me is this book. When I was about, let's just say 9 or 10, I had dental surgery or something that kept me home from school. My grandma felt bad, and she bought me a book. And, when you're a little kid, you don't really want a book, but, I didn't have a Nintendo, and blah, blah, blah. But as long as it took, I read this entire book, and I absolutely loved it. And this is kind of the book that got me to fall in love with reading, and eventually fall in love with writing. And a cute little story. I knew that English people spoke differently than Americans. I never had seen English spelling before, so I thought they pronounced all their words a lot differently because of spelling. So, they spell some words differently. So I thought English people said, my favorite root, color, is blue. So when I came back to school, I said that. But over the last few weeks, I finished reading all the Chronicles of Narnia, and I really, really enjoyed them. I would say they get better as they go up. I didn't like the last battle as much. I thought the last few books were better than that, but I enjoyed them a lot. They don't go into the characters as much. They don't go into the descriptions and stuff as much. They don't go into the history of things as much. You can read a Game of Thrones or a Lord of the Rings or a Harry Potter book, and you just don't know what's going on after a while because they're talking about the pork chop that King Blub Blub Blub's eating, and after a while you just don't give a shit anymore. You just want to burn the book after a while. So I really enjoyed all of these books. I can't remember anything about them at all from when I was a little kid and I read them. I know that I read them, but I definitely enjoyed them. I remember seeing the movie and not remembering anything about the movie, but I just don't think the movies were done very well. I liked reading the Game of Thrones books. I just didn't really like, they're just long after a while. Um, I'm also at the same time reading in my Kindle. This is going to lose me some nerd points, but I'm reading H.P. Lovecraft, and he does exactly what I'm saying I don't like. He is just long and boring. He just describes stuff. There's not very much conversation, and he just describes things and just makes up words, and I just think he's absolutely probably one of the most boring writers I've ever read. Um, so, yeah, too bad for that. I've also read, I don't know how many other books this summer. Well, I know I'm at 27 for the year, but for the summer, I'm not entirely sure. But that's my little addition for this episode. Why don't you go try read a book? What do you guys like to read? Thanks for watching. Have a great day. You're the best.